I'm Lindsay Rytel, and I live in Portland, Oregon. I was researching different psilocybin centers, and I saw Omnia, and I immediately noticed it because I'm from Southern Oregon, so I love that it was in Ashland. When I looked on the website, I could tell that I loved the style of the building. I could see that there was an outdoor space within the office, which I thought would be so great. And I could just tell that it was a place I would be really comfortable to do a journey in. So that's how I chose Omnia Group of Ashland. The screening process was actually pretty lengthy, but I really appreciated it. The first step was talking to my facilitator on the phone, and I immediately really liked her, and I was very comfortable with her. I felt comfortable to ask all of my questions, whether they seemed silly or not. I take a couple prescription medicine, and she asked about that and said she was going to get with the medical director to make sure that it wouldn't interfere with the psilocybin. So I could tell that they really took the extra time to make sure it was going to be a good journey. And that conversation was great. I knew I wanted to proceed with her and with the journey. The next step was filling out a questionnaire that was pretty long, and I put in a lot of details because I had no idea what to expect, so I wanted to make sure that I was putting down everything they needed to know. The next step was actually going to the facility 24 hours before my journey and meeting with my facilitator. When I got there, I knew I had made the right choice. The center was even more gorgeous in person. It was just so calming and serene. It was great. Then I met with my facilitator, and it was almost like a therapy session. We were talking about my childhood and what my intentions were, and I told her I wanted to learn how to manage my anxiety, and we did a few breathing exercises. And after that, I knew I was ready. I was super excited. I could not believe how comfortable I was because I was really nervous. But after the screening process, I knew that I was ready, and I was excited to do the journey. The most significant part of the process was realizing how grateful I am for my life. The expectations I had, which I spoke with my facilitator, I really wanted to learn how to manage my anxiety, which I definitely did. But what was so surprising is that I was so thankful for the life I have and realized that my anxiety is just not really necessary because I have so many other good things in my life. And at one point during the experience, I had tears of joy running down my face. And it's been 2 months since I had my experience, and I still feel every day that that part of the journey is really present in my life. The center had a great atmosphere, and it really helped with me feeling safe. But I think what provided me with a really great journey is my facilitator. She just, after the screening process, I felt really knew me and knew how I was going to be in the journey and what she needed to bring for me to feel comfortable. The first part was giving me a timeline. She told me what to expect as far as feeling the effects and when it would wear off, which I really appreciated because I had no idea what to expect. So that was amazing. She also created just this atmosphere of feeling safe. She brought in herbs from her garden, and when I was having a little bit of anxiousness within the journey, she had me smell a specific herb that calmed me down. At another point, she gave me a crystal that she knew I would help with my anxiety that she figured I would probably have in the journey, and immediately calmed me down. She also let me know that anything that happens in the room would stay in the room. She said, I've seen it all before. Don't worry about saying anything or doing anything, because it is pretty vulnerable when you just meet this person and then all of a sudden you're going to go on a psilocybin journey with them, and they're basically, I go, are you just going to be staring at me? And she's like, no, I'll be doing my own thing, but I'm here if you need me, which was really comforting. And then we actually talked about if I were to have something agitated or something going on the journey, how can she support me? And she said, do you want me to rub your shoulder, or do you want me to hold your hand? And we decided that if she could tell I'm going through a rough time, she would just put her hand near me and I could grab it if I wanted to. So it was nice that we had these parameters set up beforehand. And then it was also just really fun. When we got there, I drank the tea, and then it took a while to kick in. So we did an oracle cards. She did a sound bath. I was just kind of laying there with my blanket and a blindfold on, so it just kind of felt like a slumber party. And she had this perfectly curated playlist that matched my journey perfectly, the ups and downs. It was just everything in there felt like it was meant for me, and it was amazing. I feel like I keep saying this, but I really had no idea what to expect. I had just heard positive experiences and wanted to go on a journey myself. And I am so surprised how much the journey has positively impacted my life. It's been 2 months and I still feel like I'm feeling the effects. I can easily manage my anxiety now. When I start feeling anxious, I remember some of the breathing techniques the facilitator told me about, or I can remember in my journey, I felt like I was kind of having some anxiety attacks almost. And then the journey was teaching me how to manage it. It was incredible. And so when I'm feeling that way now, I can visualize what I was doing on that journey and implement it right now. And it's just awesome. And I just have so much gratitude. And I feel so appreciative. And I want everyone to experience this. If they're slightly interested, I would absolutely suggest they go do it. 3 of my friends have already been on a journey and have had very positive experiences as well. I'm just so surprised how much it has impacted me and in such a meaningful way.